Imagine, if you will, a tiny speck of glittering dust caught in the sunlight filtering through ancient leaves. That speck, my friend, is gold. And the story of gold is a long, slow river flowing through the millennia, reflecting the light of countless human lives. It's a story whispered on the wind, etched into ancient artifacts, and buried deep within the earth itself, waiting to be unearthed. Long before recorded history, even before the first clumsy attempts at writing, humans were drawn to this shimmering metal. Picture a time when the world was a wilder place, when people lived closer to the earth, their lives governed by the rhythms of the seasons and the availability of food. And there, nestled amongst the rocks and sands, lay gold, a treasure unlike any other. Not for its practical use at first, not for its strength or its durability, but for its beauty, its captivating gleam, its rich, warm color, something captivating about its very essence. This initial fascination led to early forms of mining, painstaking and laborious, a testament to the allure of gold. Think of the quiet dedication, the strength and resilience, the simple tools used to extract this precious metal from the earth. Each nugget, each fleck, a tiny piece of the growing human relationship with gold. They didn't just find it, they discovered it, a treasure hinting at something more, something beyond mere survival. It adorned early tools, transforming the utilitarian into something imbued with meaning, something special. This early use wasn't about money or power. It was about enhancing the ordinary, making it extraordinary. As societies developed, so did their relationship with gold. It became a symbol of status, of wealth, a marker of power. Kings and queens adorned themselves with it. Temples and palaces glittered under its weight. Think of the pharaohs of ancient Egypt, their tombs filled with golden treasures, a testament to their belief in an afterlife as opulent as their earthly reign. Visualize the intricate designs, the painstaking craftsmanship, each piece a small piece of their world, of their aspirations, hopes, and fears, captured in this timeless metal. But gold was more than just a symbol of power. It became a conduit for storytelling. Think of the intricate goldwork of the ancient Greeks, the delicate filigree, the mythical creatures brought to life in shimmering metal. Each piece is a story, a whisper from the past, speaking of gods and heroes, of triumphs and tragedies. The art itself was a testament to the human desire to create, to leave a mark on the world, to express the inexpressible through the medium of gold. It's a testament to human creativity, a tangible representation of stories passed down through generations. Each object is a small golden window into the heart of ancient civilizations. And as we drift off to sleep, let this golden thread continue to weave its way through your dreams, a quiet reminder of humanity's enduring fascination with this magical metal. Imagine, if you will, the shimmering heat of the Egyptian desert sun beating down on sands that have held secrets for millennia. Picture yourself walking along the Nile, its slow, steady current mirroring the rhythm of life itself, a life deeply intertwined with the belief in a glorious afterlife. This is ancient Egypt, a land where the sun god Ra ruled the heavens and the pharaohs were considered his earthly representatives, divine beings walking among mortals. And what a sight those pharaohs must have been, even in death. Think of their tombs, vast subterranean chambers carved into the living rock, hidden beneath the shifting sands. These weren't just burial places, they were elaborate palaces designed for eternity, intended as a continuation of the pharaoh's life, but in a grander, more powerful form. The walls are painted with vibrant scenes depicting their earthly triumphs, their journeys into the afterlife, a testament to their belief in an eternal existence amongst the gods. But the most striking feature, the element that truly captures the essence of their belief in immortality, was the gold. Mountains of it, gleaming softly in the torchlight. Gold, the color of the sun, a symbol of Ra's power and the pharaoh's divine connection. Imagine the sheer weight of golden necklaces, each link meticulously crafted, adorned with scarab beetles, symbols of rebirth, and other precious stones, their surfaces catching the flame, reflecting it in 1,000 tiny sparks. Think of the golden masks, perfectly crafted to resemble the pharaoh's face, serene and majestic, even in death. These weren't merely adornments, they were intended to protect the pharaoh's soul, to ensure its safe passage into the afterlife. The gold itself was considered a divine metal, imbued with the very essence of the sun's power, capable of preserving the pharaoh's body and spirit for eternity. Picture the golden sarcophagi, massive chests gleaming softly within the tomb's darkness, each one a miniature palace designed to house the pharaoh's mummified remains. These weren't merely containers, they were representations of the pharaoh's renewed life, a transition from earthly realm to the divine. The intricate carvings, the precious stones embedded in the gold, all tell a story of a powerful ruler, but also of a deep-seated belief in the promise of life beyond death. Even the smallest objects found within these tombs, golden amulets, tiny figurines, the tips of scepters, were created with the same meticulous detail and infused with the same significance. Each piece reflects the ancient Egyptians' deep-rooted faith, their unwavering belief in the sun's life-giving power, and the pharaoh's ability to join the gods in their eternal reign. Close your eyes now, and let the image of this glittering gold, a testament to faith and a belief in the endless cycle of life and death, lull you into a peaceful slumber. Let the quiet shimmer of the gold settle your mind and ease you into a restful night. Now, as the fireflies begin their nightly dance, let us drift towards a tale of shimmering dreams and relentless pursuit. The whispers started subtly, carried on the humid breezes of the Amazon, murmured amongst the indigenous peoples, a legend passed down through generations. A city, they said, paved with gold, El Dorado. Not just a city of gold, mind you, but a place of unimaginable wealth, a kingdom where the very streets shone with a sun-like brilliance. The conquistadors, those intrepid explorers of the New World, heard these whispers, and they were captivated. Years of hardship, of battling treacherous jungles and hostile tribes, were easily forgotten in the face of this glittering promise. They envisioned mountains of gold, enough to fill the coffers of Spain, enough to make them kings themselves. Each hardship endured only fueled their determination, each setback a minor inconvenience on the path to unimaginable riches. Sir Walter Raleigh, a name synonymous with exploration and ambition, heard the echoes of this legend, and the quest for El Dorado consumed him. He led expeditions into the unknown, navigating unforgiving rivers and dense forests, his heart filled with the hope of discovering this mythical paradise. He sought the legendary city, driven not only by greed, but also by the allure of the unknown, the thrill of charting unmapped territory, pushing the boundaries of the known world. The stories he brought back, though they never revealed the location of El Dorado, only intensified the fascination. Tales of magnificent rivers, lush landscapes, and powerful indigenous civilizations added layers of mystery to the legend. But the pursuit of El Dorado was not without its costs. Countless lives were lost in the relentless search, sacrifices made on the altar of ambition. Disease, starvation, and violent encounters with native tribes took their toll on those who dared to chase the shimmering dream. The relentless quest, however, created its own mythology. Each failed expedition added another layer to the legend, fueling the imaginations of future explorers. The very act of searching became a testament to human ambition, a story of hope and heartbreak intertwined. The quest for El Dorado transcended the simple search for gold. It became a symbol of the human desire for something more, a yearning for a better life, a deeper meaning. It speaks to our innate fascination with the unknown, the allure of the extraordinary, the enduring power of dreams, even impossible ones. And as we settle deeper into the embrace of slumber, remember that sometimes the journey itself is as valuable as the destination, the pursuit as captivating as the prize. The legend of El Dorado remains, a testament to human ambition, woven into the very fabric of the New World's history, a whisper carried on the wind, a shimmering reflection in the still waters of our imaginations. Even now, as you drift off to sleep, the lure of El Dorado might just flicker in the corners of your mind. Far south of Egypt, along the Nile's fertile embrace, lay the kingdom of Kush. Imagine, if you will, a land shimmering under the African sun, a land rich not just in the bounty of the river, but in something far more precious, gold. Gold, the color of the sun itself, flowed through the veins of Kush, shaping its history, its art, and the very lives of its people. For centuries, Kush was a powerful kingdom, a civilization that rivaled, and at times even surpassed, the might of Egypt. Think of its majestic pyramids, reaching for the same sky as their Egyptian counterparts, but with a distinct Nubian style. They weren't merely tombs, they were statements of power, monuments to pharaohs who ruled over a vast and prosperous land. These pyramids, built with meticulous care, stood as testaments to the Kushites' mastery of architecture and engineering. They whispered stories of a sophisticated society, organized and strong. Gold wasn't just for show in Kush, it was the lifeblood of their economy. Imagine bustling marketplaces filled with the sounds of bartering and the gleam of gold jewelry, intricately crafted by skilled artisans. Gold dust, nuggets, and exquisitely worked objects were traded far and wide, reaching across the deserts and into the Mediterranean. This trade brought wealth to Kush, allowing them to build impressive cities, support their armies, and maintain a complex social structure. Picture the caravans, slowly traversing the sands, their camels laden with precious goods, gold, ivory, ebony, all reflecting the prosperity of this remarkable kingdom. The influence of gold extended beyond commerce. It permeated the very fabric of Kush's artistic expression. Picture the golden masks, shimmering with intricate details, worn by royalty during their lifetimes or placed upon their faces in death. Visualize the gleaming gold jewelry, adorned with semi-precious stones and intricate designs, worn by the elite and perhaps even by the commoners during special celebrations. The artists of Kush were masters of their craft, transforming malleable gold into stunning works of art that expressed their unique cultural identity. These weren't just objects, they were expressions of faith, power, and the enduring spirit of a people. The pharaohs of Kush, powerful rulers in their own right, used gold to reinforce their authority. Think of their magnificent crowns, adorned with gold and precious stones, symbols of their divine right to rule. Imagine the golden chariots, reflecting the sun as they moved across the landscape, carrying the pharaohs to their ceremonies and battles. Gold was not merely a material possession. It was a physical embodiment of royal power, a tangible representation of their connection to the divine. The gold, shimmering in the sunlight, served to strengthen their image and their control over their people. Even the weapons of their soldiers likely had elements of gold worked into their designs, making them formidable and reflecting the kingdom's wealth and power. As the sun sets, painting the sky in hues of orange and gold, let the image of Kush, bathed in the golden light of its history, settle gently in your mind. A civilization built on the strength of its people and the richness of its gold. A civilization that left a lasting legacy on the world. Breathe in deeply. Let the gentle rhythm of your breath guide you into a peaceful sleep. The story of Kush, its gold, and its enduring legacy will linger quietly in your thoughts as you drift off to dream. Imagine yourself drifting back in time to a sun-drenched land where olive groves met sparkling seas. Ancient Greece. The very air seems to shimmer with the stories of gods and heroes, and woven into those stories, like threads of sunlight, is gold. It wasn't just a precious metal, it was a reflection of the divine, a symbol of power and immortality. Think of the Olympian gods themselves, dwelling atop Mount Olympus, their palaces adorned with glittering gold. Zeus, the king of the gods, his thunderbolts crackling with power, held dominion over a realm where gold was as common as the dew on a morning rose. His daughter, Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty, was often depicted adorned in golden jewelry, her very essence tied to the radiant luster of the metal. Her son, Eros, the mischievous god of love, carried a bow and arrows tipped with gold, each shot carrying the potent magic of desire. The stories of these gods are filled with golden objects, golden apples, golden chariots, golden armors. The golden fleece, sought by Jason and the Argonauts, became a legendary symbol of bravery, a quest fueled by the promise of immense golden treasure. This shimmering fleece, a gift from a golden-fleeced ram, represented not just material wealth, but also the attainment of heroic status and the favor of the gods. But gold wasn't just a part of myth, it shaped the very reality of ancient Greece. Imagine walking through the bustling marketplace of Athens, seeing the glint of gold on jewelry, intricate gold leaf adorning temples, the subtle gleam of gold coins in the hands of merchants. The craftsmanship was breathtaking. Skilled artisans, working with incredible precision, crafted delicate jewelry, ornate statues, and magnificent vessels. These objects weren't just decorative, they were expressions of Greek society's values. Consider the golden statues of the gods, painstakingly created to capture their divine essence. Each carefully placed fold of drapery, each meticulously rendered facial feature, reflected a deep understanding of beauty and perfection. These weren't just idols, they were works of art that embodied the ideals of the Greek people: strength, grace, and harmony. The gold itself, reflecting light in a myriad of ways, heightened the sense of majesty and power. The gleam of gold seemed to almost breathe life into the divine forms. Think of the golden wreaths and crowns given to victorious athletes at the Olympic Games, symbols of ultimate achievement and public recognition. The gleaming metal, a testament to their skill and prowess, marked them as exceptional individuals. Even the everyday citizen, though possibly not owning vast quantities of gold, would certainly have seen and interacted with it in their daily lives. It was a ubiquitous part of the visual landscape, a reminder of the power and beauty of their world and the divine beings who watched over it. And so, as you drift off to sleep, let the image of shimmering golden artifacts and the stories of the Greek gods gently lull you into a peaceful slumber. The gleam of gold fades now, but the stories remain, forever whispering of a time long past, a time of gods and heroes and treasures beyond measure. Imagine, if you will, a world bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, a world ruled by the might of Rome, the Roman Empire, a vast expanse stretching across continents, a civilization built on ambition, conquest, and a shimmering metal, gold. Gold, the lifeblood of this incredible empire, its presence woven into every facet of Roman life, from the humblest coin to the grandest palace. Picture the legions, the disciplined soldiers who marched across mountains and deserts, their armor gleaming under the sun, their loyalty bought and maintained, in part, by the gold flowing from the imperial treasury. Each denarius, each aureus, a small piece of the empire's power, meticulously crafted, a testament to Roman engineering and control. This wasn't just payment, it was a symbol, a tangible representation of the Pax Romana, the Roman peace, a period of relative stability and prosperity that lasted for centuries. The steady hand of the empire, backed by the glittering allure of gold, kept the peace, maintained trade routes, and fostered a sense of security that allowed the arts, architecture, and culture to flourish. Think of the bustling marketplaces, vibrant hubs of commerce where goods from across the known world were exchanged, their value measured in gold. Merchants, their faces etched with years of travel and shrewd dealings, counted their earnings, each coin a testament to their success in this vast, interconnected network. Gold flowed like a river, nourishing the economy, shaping the landscape of Roman society, making it possible for the empire's ambitious infrastructure projects to take shape. And then visualize the opulence of the upper classes, the senators, the emperors, their lives a tapestry woven with threads of gold. Imagine their lavish villas, adorned with intricate mosaics, glittering with golden jewelry, their tables laden with delicacies from faraway lands. Gold was not merely a currency, it was a statement of power, a symbol of prestige, a tangible representation of their dominance. The emperor's palaces, vast and imposing structures, stood as monumental declarations of imperial might, the gleam of gold reflecting their unshakable authority. But even the sun eventually sets, and the mighty river of gold eventually slows. The empire, once seemingly invincible, began to crumble under the weight of its own grandeur. Internal strife, economic instability, and the ever-present threat of barbarian invasions chipped away at the foundation of the Pax Romana. The steady stream of gold, once a source of strength, began to dwindle as mines played out and the cost of maintaining such a vast empire exceeded its ability to pay. The once unwavering gleam of gold began to fade, mirroring the fading power of the empire itself. The luxurious villas and mighty palaces, once symbols of strength and prosperity, fell into disrepair, their golden ornaments looted or lost to the sands of time. The fall of Rome was a slow, agonizing process, a testament to the ephemeral nature of power and the limitations of even the most abundant resources. Yet the legacy of the Roman Empire, its influence on law, language, and architecture remains to this day, a lasting echo of a civilization cemented by gold, built on ambition, and ultimately shaped by the relentless passage of time. And as you drift off to sleep, remember the golden age of Rome, a story whispered on the wind, a legacy etched in gold, a testament to a civilization that once held the world in its golden grasp. Imagine, if you will, a tiny flake of gold, nestled amongst the rough pebbles of a riverbed in the Altai Mountains. The sun, a warm hand, touches it, glinting off its surface. This is the beginning of its long journey. It's picked up, perhaps by a weathered hand, the hand of a miner whose family has worked these very hills for generations. The gold is carefully cleaned, its beauty revealed, and then it begins its slow eastward drift. It's traded for food, for woven cloth, for tools. Each exchange is a small ripple in the vast ocean of commerce, a silent story passed from one hand to another. The flake of gold travels down the river, carried by the current of trade, eventually reaching a bustling marketplace in Samarkand. Here, the air hums with 1,000 different languages, 1,000 different scents. Silk hangs heavy in the air, the scent of spices fill your nostrils, and the gleam of gold catches the eye in countless forms. Ornaments, jewelry, intricate decorations on religious artifacts. Our little flake, now part of a larger piece, is exchanged for bolts of vibrant silk from China. Think of the journey of that silk, the patient cultivation of mulberry trees, the careful spinning and weaving, the hands that lovingly created this luxurious fabric. The silk, laden with its golden cargo, moves onward. Camels, their humps swaying rhythmically, traverse the vast deserts, their bells a faint, comforting chime in the stillness of the night. Caravans snake across the sands, their slow progress a testament to the patient endurance needed to navigate these challenging landscapes. Merchants share stories around crackling campfires under a canopy of stars, tales of distant lands, of powerful rulers and ancient empires. Our gold, unseen yet always present, quietly witnesses these exchanges, these connections forged across continents. The caravan reaches the great city of Chanhan, the heart of the Tang dynasty. Here, gold is highly valued, a symbol of imperial power and wealth. It might be used to adorn a magnificent temple, to create a delicate piece of jewelry for an emperor's concubine, or perhaps to decorate the handle of a finely crafted sword. The city, a breathtaking blend of architectural grandeur and bustling markets, is a kaleidoscope of sights and sounds, a tapestry woven with threads of gold, silk, and the dreams of travelers from far and wide. The journey doesn't end here, of course. The gold, in countless forms, might continue its travels still further east, reaching the shores of the Pacific, its story woven into the fabric of countless cultures and economies. Each step, each exchange, each transformation is a chapter in a long and winding tale, a testament to the enduring power of trade, the subtle connections that bind the world together, and the quiet journey of a single flake of gold from a mountain riverbed to the heart of an ancient empire. And as you drift off to sleep, imagine that little flake quietly resting, its journey complete, a silent witness to the ceaseless flow of history. The scent of incense, faint and sweet, hangs in the air. Imagine yourself drifting back in time to a world bathed in the soft glow of candlelight. We're in the Middle Ages, a time spanning centuries, a long, slow unfolding of history. And at the heart of it all, a powerful presence, the Catholic Church. Think of vast cathedrals rising like stone prayers to the heavens, their walls adorned with intricate carvings, whispering stories of saints and miracles. Within those walls, treasures shimmered, a dazzling display of gold and precious stones. Not just simple decorations, these were relics, fragments of holy objects believed to possess miraculous powers. A splinter of the true cross, perhaps, or a piece of the clothing worn by a beloved saint. Each one carefully enshrined, protected, and revered. Imagine the weight of a golden reliquary in your hands, cool and smooth against your skin. Its surface intricately engraved with scenes from the Bible, tiny figures frozen in moments of faith and devotion. These weren't merely containers, they were works of art, each detail meticulously crafted by skilled artisans. Their devotion poured into every hammer blow, every carefully placed jewel. Gold, the color of divinity, of the sun, was the perfect medium to express this profound reverence. It spoke of wealth, of power, yes, but also of unwavering faith. The Church during this era was more than just a spiritual guide. It was a center of learning, a political force, and a vast economic power. Monasteries, quiet havens of contemplation, became centers of knowledge, carefully preserving ancient texts and nurturing scholarship. Scriptoria within those monastic walls teemed with scribes painstakingly copying illuminated manuscripts, each page a masterpiece of calligraphy and artistry, adorned with shimmering gold leaf. The influence of the Church extended into every aspect of life, from the grand ceremonies held in magnificent cathedrals to the simple daily prayers whispered in humble homes. Golden crosses adorned the chests of kings and the nicks of peasants alike, tangible symbols of shared faith, a common thread weaving through the tapestry of medieval life. The very coins people used, bearing the image of the reigning monarch, often subtly incorporated religious symbolism, a constant reminder of the Church's pervasive presence. Think of the stained glass windows, their vibrant colors capturing the light and transforming it into a breathtaking spectacle. Each pane a story told in glowing hues,
narrating biblical tales, the lives of saints, and the promises of salvation. Gold leaf, delicately applied, added a final layer of brilliance, catching the light and scattering it in a shower of glittering warmth. These weren't mere windows. They were luminous tapestries, transforming the cold stone of the cathedral into a place of radiant beauty, a haven of peace and spiritual inspiration. Even the simplest village church, though far humbler than the grand cathedrals, would hold its own precious relics, small reminders of the divine, shining faintly in the dim light. As you drift off to sleep, let the image of that golden glow settle gently in your mind, a quiet reflection of faith, art, and the enduring power of the Church in the Middle Ages. Let the whispers of history lull you into a peaceful slumber.
The whispers of gold, carried on the ocean breeze, began to stir the hearts of men. It wasn't just the gleam of the metal itself, but the promise it held of wealth, of power, of a life transformed. The age of exploration, already underway, took on a new urgency, a feverish intensity fueled by the relentless pursuit of this shimmering prize. Ships, once venturing forth for spices and new trade routes, now sailed with a singular purpose: to find gold and to claim it for their nations. Imagine the creak of the timbers, the slap of waves against the hull as these vessels journeyed across uncharted waters. The sun beat down on weathered faces, etched with both hope and the hard realities of seafaring life. They braved storms that threatened to swallow them whole, navigated by the stars and a compass that pointed the way toward fortunes yet untold. Some were driven by the ambition of kings and queens, eager to expand their empires and swell their treasuries. Others were driven by the simple, burning desire for a better life, a life free from hardship. For them, gold was the key that unlocked opportunity, a ticket to a new world. The Spanish conquistadors, fueled by stories of legendary riches, carved a path through the Americas. Their conquests, often brutal and unjust, led to the discovery of vast silver and gold mines, reshaping the economies of Europe and leaving an enduring impact on the land and its people. The Inca and Aztec empires, once powerful and flourishing, crumbled under the weight of this relentless drive for gold, their civilizations forever altered by the arrival of these eager explorers. But the quest for gold didn't stop in the Americas. The lure spread to Africa, to Asia, and across the oceans, triggering a cascade of consequences. Trade routes shifted, new alliances formed and crumbled, and global power dynamics were reshaped overnight. The flow of gold altered currencies, fueled economic expansion in some parts of the world, and devastation in others. Nations rose and fell based on their success or failure in the race to accumulate this precious metal. Think of the Portuguese sailors charting new routes around Africa, seeking new sources of wealth to bolster their burgeoning empire. Imagine the Dutch East India Company, its vast trading network spanning the globe, its coffers overflowing with gold from distant lands. Picture the British and French locked in a bitter rivalry for control of colonies, their ambitions fueled by the insatiable desire for more. The world was a chessboard, and gold was the most valuable piece. As the gold flowed, so did the people. Migrants poured into the newly discovered lands, drawn by the promise of riches, hoping to strike it rich and carve out a new life for themselves.
Towns sprang up seemingly overnight, transforming the landscape and the very fabric of society. But this rapid expansion often came at a cost, leading to environmental degradation, conflict over resources, and the exploitation of indigenous populations. The quest for gold, therefore, was more than just a hunt for a precious metal. It was a catalyst for change, a driving force that fundamentally altered the course of history. It was a tale of ambition and avarice, of exploration and exploitation, of dreams realized and dreams shattered. A story whispered on the wind, across the waves, and through the ages. A story that continues to resonate even now, long after the golden rush subsided. Now, let those stories drift into your dreams and rest peacefully.
The scent of cinnamon and cloves hangs heavy in the air, a ghostly reminder of the spices that fueled the voyages across the vast ocean. Imagine the creak of wooden ships, the salty spray on your face, the endless horizon. This is the beginning of the story of the Spanish Empire, a story woven with threads of gold and shadowed by the weight of conquest. Across the waves, a new world unfolded, a land teeming with life, unknown riches, and civilizations older than any in Europe. The conquistadors, driven by tales of unimaginable wealth, landed on these shores, their eyes fixed on the glint of gold, a metal that promised power and glory. They saw empires built of stone, intricate cities, and people who lived in harmony with the land, the Aztecs, the Incas, the Maya. But the vision of gold blinded many. The conquistadors, with their superior weaponry and ruthless ambition, began their brutal campaign. Think of the clash of steel, the cries of battle, a stark contrast to the gentle rhythm of the waves that once brought them to this new land. Hernán Cortés, a name whispered in hushed tones even now, marched on Tenochtitlan, the magnificent Aztec capital, a city built on an island shimmering under the sun. It was a city of canals and temples, of vibrant markets and intricate artistry, a testament to a sophisticated civilization. Yet disease, warfare, and the relentless pursuit of gold brought its downfall. The conquistadors, aided by unforeseen allies and devastating epidemics, toppled the Aztec Empire, their victory stained with the blood of countless lives. The glittering gold, plundered from temples and palaces, fueled the Spanish crown, enriching the coffers of a distant king, while leaving a legacy of destruction. Further south, the Incas, with their vast empire stretching along the Andes Mountains, faced a similar fate. Francisco Pizarro, another name etched in the annals of history, though not always with honor, led his men against the Inca emperor Atahualpa. The Inca, famed for their intricate road system, their mastery of engineering, and their sophisticated agriculture, were overwhelmed by the conquistadors' superior weaponry and tactics. The story of the Spanish conquest is not solely about the brutal subjugation of indigenous peoples. It's about the shattering of civilizations, the loss of knowledge, the decimation of cultures. Think of the intricate weaving traditions, the unique astronomical observations, the sophisticated agricultural practices, all lost or irrevocably altered by the relentless push for gold and power. The conquistadors' insatiable greed carved a path of devastation across the Americas, leaving behind a landscape scarred with violence and exploitation. The echoes of this conquest continue to resonate, shaping the cultures and the very fabric of the Americas even today. Close your eyes and let the gentle waves of the ocean wash away the harshness of the past, leaving only a quiet understanding of the complex legacy left behind. The gold is long gone, but the story remains, a testament to the enduring strength and resilience of the human spirit. The year is 1848. Imagine the quiet hum of everyday life across the nation, a life largely unchanged for generations. Then a whisper travels, carried on the wind, on letters, on the excited murmur of returning explorers. Gold. Gold had been discovered in California. Not just a little glittering speck, but veins of it, enough to rewrite the future. News spread like wildfire, igniting a spark of hope and ambition in hearts across the country, and indeed across the world. Suddenly, the familiar rhythms of farm life, of shopkeeping, of quiet family routines were disrupted by a powerful, irresistible force, the gold rush. Picture the long, arduous journeys westward. Thousands upon thousands of people leaving behind everything they knew, setting out on a path paved with uncertainty and hardship. Wagons creaked across dusty plains, their occupants dreaming of fortunes yet to be made. Ships overflowed with eager souls, sailing around the treacherous Cape Horn, a journey that tested the limits of human endurance. From the East Coast, from Europe, from even further afield, they came. Individuals, families, entire communities caught in the current of this unprecedented migration. California, once a sparsely populated territory, transformed before their very eyes. Towns sprang up overnight, mushrooming from nothing into bustling settlements, filled with the energy of hopeful prospectors. San Francisco, a quiet village just a few years earlier, exploded into a city, its population swelling at an astonishing rate. Life was raw, unrefined, a chaotic dance between fortune and despair. Saloons and gambling halls thrived, their bright lights a stark contrast to the rough-hewn tents and makeshift shelters that dotted the landscape. The impact was profound. The demographics of California shifted dramatically, its population swelling with a diverse group of people: Americans, Mexicans, Chinese, Europeans, a melting pot forged in the crucible of the gold rush. The discovery of gold irrevocably altered the economy, not just in California, but across the nation. The flow of gold transformed financial markets, fueled the expansion of the railroad, and ultimately helped to shape the growing nation. Many sought their fortune and found only disappointment. The reality of gold mining was often harsh. Days were spent toiling under the unforgiving sun, panning for elusive flecks of gold, often with little reward. But the dream persisted, the lure of riches potent enough to endure hardship, setbacks, and even heartbreak. The gold rush wasn't just about gold. It was about the transformation of the American West. It spurred the development of infrastructure, the establishment of towns and cities, and the expansion of trade routes. The land itself was reshaped, its natural resources exploited, and its indigenous populations profoundly affected. The legacy of the gold rush remains interwoven into the very fabric of California and the American West, a complex tapestry of success, failure, and enduring change.
And as the sounds of the rush gradually fade, we're left with a story etched into the mountains and valleys, a testament to human ambition, resilience, and the enduring power of a dream. Now, breathe deeply, let your worries drift away, and rest peacefully.
Imagine, if you will, a world where the value of money wasn't tied to fluctuating markets or the promises of governments, but to something tangible, something enduring, gold. For centuries, gold held a position of unparalleled importance in the global financial system, a silent, shimmering anchor in the stormy seas of international trade and economic policy. This was the era of the gold standard, a time when currencies were directly convertible into gold at a fixed rate. Picture the bustling ports of the 19th and early 20th centuries. Ships laden with goods from distant lands arrived, their holds brimming with silks, spices, tea, and the raw materials that fueled the burgeoning industries of the day. The exchange of these goods, the intricate web of international commerce, was underpinned by the unwavering assurance of gold. A British pound, a French franc, a US dollar, each held a specific, guaranteed weight of gold. This created a sense of stability, a shared understanding of value that fostered trust across borders. Governments, mindful of their gold reserves, carefully managed their monetary policies. Printing too much money risked devaluing the currency, threatening the precious metal backing it. This inherent constraint, this constant reminder of the finite nature of gold, instilled a sense of fiscal responsibility, at least in theory. Economic expansion wasn't unrestrained, it was tempered by the need to maintain the gold standard's integrity. International relations, too, were subtly shaped by the golden thread that bound the world's economies. Nations engaged in intricate balances of trade, striving to maintain sufficient gold reserves to ensure the stability of their currencies. Trade imbalances, even small ones, could lead to a drain on gold reserves, forcing adjustments in economic policy or trade practices. The flow of gold, therefore, mirrored the ebb and flow of international power, a silent, weighty conversation conducted in bars and ingots. Imagine the weighty responsibility of the central bankers of the time, custodians of vast quantities of gold, guardians of their nation's economic stability. Every decision they made, every policy they implemented had to take into account the immutable presence of gold, its limited supply, and its power to sway the fortunes of nations. The weight of this responsibility was immense, a quiet pressure felt in the hushed halls of finance ministries across the globe. But this system, for all its seeming solidity, was not without its flaws. The uneven distribution of gold reserves often favored wealthier nations, leaving less developed countries at a disadvantage. The need to maintain a fixed exchange rate could hinder economic adjustments and lead to periods of deflation, harming businesses and individuals. The inflexibility of the gold standard eventually contributed to its demise, as the strains of global conflict and economic upheaval proved too much for this seemingly immutable system to bear. And so the gleaming, golden age slowly faded, leaving behind a legacy of both stability and constraint, a powerful reminder of the enduring allure and complex influence of this precious metal. Now breathe deeply, and let the calming rhythm of history lull you into a peaceful sleep. Now, let's drift gently into the 20th century, a time of immense change reflected in the shimmering heart of global finance, gold. Imagine the weight of it, the quiet gleam, a silent witness to the century's tumultuous journey. The first decades were a period of relative stability. The gold standard, a system tying currencies to gold, held sway, providing a sense of order, a comforting anchor in a world slowly recovering from the devastation of the Great War. But this calm was deceptive. The 1920s saw a period of economic growth, a roaring 20s some called it. But beneath the surface, tensions simmered, like a pot slowly coming to a boil. Then, the crash of 1929 shattered the illusion of stability, sending shockwaves through global economies. The Great Depression arrived, casting a long shadow over the world. Countries, desperate to control their currencies and economies, began to abandon the gold standard, one by one, like dominoes falling. The value of gold, once a fixed point, began its unsteady dance, reflecting the anxieties and uncertainties of the times. World War II further destabilized the global monetary system. Governments, needing resources for the war effort, resorted to measures that impacted the gold market significantly. The war's immense cost and the subsequent destruction led to a period of rebuilding, and the price of gold remained relatively stable, at least in the early years of the post-war era. But the world was changing. A new global order was emerging, and with it came new challenges to the old financial structures. The post-war boom of the 1950s and 60s saw a period of relative prosperity in many parts of the world, yet the seeds of future instability were sown. The rise of new global powers, economic imbalances, and the increasing cost of the Cold War all played their part in creating a volatile environment for gold. As the 1970s approached, a growing sense of unease began to ripple across the global financial landscape. The Nixon shock of 1971, when the United States ended the convertibility of the dollar to gold, marked a turning point. This decision, a response to economic pressures and the burgeoning costs of the Vietnam War, sent ripples throughout the global economy. The price of gold, no longer tethered to a fixed dollar value, took flight. It soared, reflecting the uncertainty and inflation that plagued many nations. For some, it was a haven, a safe place to park their assets amid the storm. For others, a symbol of the changing times, a reminder of a shifting world order. The decades that followed saw the price of gold fluctuate wildly, responding to global events, economic crises, and geopolitical shifts. Oil crises, recessions, and wars all played their part in shaping the gold market. Gold became more than just a monetary asset. It became a commodity, a reflection of global anxieties, hopes, and fears. It became a symbol, a silent witness to the unfolding drama of the 20th century, its shimmering surface reflecting the ever-changing landscape of the global economy. And so, as we gently drift towards the end of this chapter, we see gold not just a precious metal, but as a story, a history woven into the very fabric of the 20th century. Let its quiet shimmer lull you to sleep. Now, drift away with us as we consider gold. Think of it, shimmering softly in the firelight, a weight in your hand, a warmth against your skin. Gold. It's a story as old as humanity itself, and its allure continues even now in our modern world. Imagine the ancient Egyptians painstakingly crafting delicate jewelry, each piece a tiny reflection of the sun god Ra, a symbol of immortality and power. Think of the vast riches of empires long gone. Gold amassed not just for its beauty, but as a tangible representation of wealth and might. Stored in vaults, shimmering under dim light, a silent testament to civilizations risen and fallen. Today, gold holds a similar, yet subtly different significance. The gleam of a gold necklace, a bracelet, or the subtle sheen of a wedding band still whispers of luxury, of celebration, of enduring commitment. It's a symbol, a silent declaration of success, of achievement, a touch of elegance in the everyday. This enduring appeal, this enduring beauty, is part of what fuels the market. But gold's significance goes beyond mere ornamentation. In our increasingly complex financial world, where markets fluctuate and uncertainties abound, gold often acts as a safe haven. Imagine a harbor in a storm. That's what gold represents to many investors. A place to ride out the turbulence, a store of value that doesn't depend on the whims of a stock market or the stability of a single currency. This isn't about get-rich-quick schemes. It's a long-term stability, a slow, steady preservation of wealth. People invest in gold because it has historically held its value, even through economic downturns. It's a tangible asset, something you can hold, something that offers a sense of security in an unpredictable world. Think of the weight of a gold bar, a solid, reassuring presence, a promise of enduring value. Of course, investing in gold carries its own set of considerations. It's not a quick route to riches. It's a slow, careful approach, a long-term strategy. The value fluctuates, of course, gently rising and falling with the ebb and flow of global markets. But it's a different kind of fluctuation, steadier, less prone to dramatic swings than other investments. It's a quiet strength, a calm presence in the portfolio. Picture a quiet room, dimly lit, perhaps a vault deep beneath the city streets. Inside, stacks of gold bars rest, silent witnesses to the unfolding stories of the world above. They are there, steadily holding their value, a constant amid the ever-changing tides of global finance. They are symbols of history, of aspiration, of stability. And a small piece of this ancient, enduring power sits quietly in a bracelet or a ring, a personal touch of enduring elegance. Now let your thoughts drift further and further away, towards a peaceful and restful sleep. Now, as the embers of the day gently fade, let's turn our thoughts to something shimmering and precious, gold. For centuries, humans have been drawn to its allure, its beauty a constant throughout history. But the path to obtaining this glittering treasure often leaves a mark on the world around us. Think of the ancient rivers, their banks once teeming with life, now subtly altered by the quest for gold. The methods of gold extraction have evolved over time, but the environmental impact remains a significant concern. Early miners often used simple techniques like panning, gently separating the gold from the riverbed sediments. This had a relatively minor impact, a gentle disturbance in the natural flow. But as the demand for gold increased, so did the scale of operations. Hydraulic mining, a method that uses powerful jets of water to erode hillsides and expose gold-bearing veins, became widespread in the 19th century. Imagine the force of the water, carving paths through the land, carrying away tons of soil and rock, turning clear streams into muddy torrents. This had devastating consequences for the surrounding ecosystems, destroying habitats, burying fertile farmland under layers of sediment, and poisoning waterways with toxic chemicals. Later, technologies like cyanide heap leaching emerged. This involves piling up extracted ore and spraying it with a cyanide solution to dissolve the gold. While efficient in extracting gold, cyanide is a potent poison, posing a significant threat to both aquatic and terrestrial life. Even small leaks or spills can contaminate water supplies for miles, impacting communities and wildlife for generations. Picture the delicate balance of a forest ecosystem disturbed by this powerful chemical, its effects slowly unfolding. Mercury, another commonly used element in gold mining, also presents serious environmental risks. It's used to amalgamate gold particles, creating a mixture that can later be separated. However, mercury is highly toxic, accumulating in the food chain and impacting human health. Imagine the birds, their feathers dulled, their flight weakened by the subtle presence of this heavy metal in their environment. But the story doesn't end there. A growing awareness of these environmental consequences has led to a movement towards more sustainable and responsible mining practices. This involves careful planning and environmental impact assessments, implementing strict regulations, and exploring alternative extraction methods that minimize environmental damage. Imagine a mine where water is carefully managed, preventing erosion and contamination. Picture a mine that uses safer chemicals, or even explores methods that don't rely on harmful substances at all. These practices, though more challenging and costly, are crucial for preserving the environment for future generations. They represent a conscious effort to balance our desire for gold with our responsibility to protect the planet. The transition to sustainable practices isn't instant. It's a gradual shift, a quiet evolution. But the collective efforts of individuals, companies, and governments are shaping a future where the pursuit of gold does not come at the unacceptable cost of environmental destruction. As you drift off to sleep, remember the shimmering gold, but also remember the quiet strength of responsible stewardship, protecting the Earth's delicate balance for years to come. Let these thoughts soothe you into a peaceful slumber. And so, we drift towards the end of our journey through time, but not before considering one final, glittering thread woven through the tapestry of human history: gold. Imagine, if you will, the first human hand to grasp a nugget of this shimmering metal, its weight and unique color unlike anything previously encountered. That initial wonder, that spark of fascination, has echoed down through the millennia. Gold, unlike other materials, didn't require processing to reveal its beauty. Its allure was immediate, intrinsic. Think of the ancient Egyptians meticulously crafting intricate jewelry, adorning their pharaohs for their journey into the afterlife. Their tombs shimmering with the weight of gold, a testament to earthly power and a hope for celestial continuation. Each carefully hammered piece whispers of a civilization that saw gold not merely as a precious material, but as a conduit to the divine, a tangible link to immortality. Across the world, in the lands of the Incas, gold took on a different, yet equally powerful significance. For them, it represented the sun god, Inti, its brilliance reflecting the sun's life-giving energy. Gold adorned temples, statues, and ceremonial objects, binding together their society and their beliefs. The intricate designs, the painstaking artistry, all tell a story of a people whose relationship with gold was deeply spiritual, woven into the very fabric of their culture. The rise and fall of empires often intertwined with the flow of gold. Conquistadors sailed across vast oceans, driven by whispers of legendary cities paved with gold, fueled by a greed that left a dark stain on history, but also illuminating the enduring human fascination with this precious metal. Its value, almost mythical in its ability to command power and influence, shaped the course of nations, driving wars and shaping alliances. But gold's legacy extends beyond the realms of kings and conquests. Think of the delicate filigree work of the ancient Greeks, the stunning artistry of Byzantine mosaics, the intricate jewelry crafted by countless artisans across centuries and cultures. Gold has served as a canvas for human creativity, a medium through which countless stories have been told, emotions expressed, and beliefs enshrined. The subtle gleam of a gold coin passed from hand to hand, a silent witness to countless transactions, reflecting the evolution of trade and commerce. Even today, its luster persists, its value undiminished. A wedding ring, a treasured heirloom, a celebratory medal, gold continues to mark life's milestones, symbolizing prosperity, success, and enduring love. It's a constant reminder of human ingenuity, our desire for beauty, and our enduring fascination with the shimmering allure of this extraordinary element. As we rest now, let the soft glow of imagined gold gently lull you into slumber, a reflection of its enduring legacy and its captivating power. Sleep well and dream golden dreams. The embers of the fire, a gentle orange glow in the deepening twilight, mirrored the quiet warmth spreading through your body. Imagine yourself nestled beside that fire, the crackling a comforting rhythm against the stillness of the night. The scent of wood smoke, faint and sweet, mingles with the cool evening air. Perhaps you feel a soft wool blanket draped over your shoulders, its weight a gentle pressure, a reassuring presence. Far away, a lone owl calls, its soft hoot a lullaby carried on the breeze. The sound is so distant, so peaceful, it almost melts into the quiet hum of the night itself. Feel the tension easing from your shoulders, melting away like snow on a spring morning. Your breath slows, each inhale deep and calming, each exhale a release of any lingering worries. The stars begin to prick the inky canvas of the night sky, tiny diamonds scattered across the velvet black. They shine with a quiet, unwavering light, a silent promise of enduring beauty. Watch them if you can, feeling your eyelids grow heavy, your muscles relaxing completely. Let your thoughts drift like clouds across the moonlit sky, effortless and free. Perhaps you see yourself walking along a quiet country lane, the moon casting long shadows that dance and sway with your footsteps. The air is crisp and clean, carrying the scent of damp earth and blooming wildflowers. You walk slowly, deliberately, each step grounding you further into the present moment. The only sound is the gentle rustle of leaves underfoot, a soothing whisper against the quiet night. The world around you fades, the sounds and sights growing softer, more distant. Imagine a gentle stream meandering through a meadow, its water flowing smoothly, effortlessly over smooth stones. The soft murmur of the water is a calming mantra, lulling you into a deeper state of relaxation. Feel the cool water against your skin, washing away any remaining stress, any residual tension. Let the images flow, one after another, each one more tranquil, more peaceful than the last. A field of wildflowers swaying gently in a summer breeze. A flock of birds taking flight at dawn, their wings beating in perfect harmony. A warm, comforting embrace, the soft, gentle rhythm of your own heartbeat. Your breathing is even now, slow and deep, a steady rhythm against the silence. Let your body sink deeper into the comfort of your bed, the softness surrounding you, cradling you in its embrace. Let go of the day's events, the anxieties, the worries. They are no longer relevant, no longer important. You are safe, you are peaceful, you are at rest. The world melts away, leaving only the gentle, steady rhythm of your breath, the comforting darkness, and the quiet promise of sweet dreams. Sleep now, and let the peaceful slumber carry you to a land of gentle dreams, of quiet joy, and of blissful rest. Sleep well, sleep soundly, and sweet dreams.